So number one is my favorite, and it's to illegally download all the editing software that you'll need for your business. Solid 5-mile run today, a little bit cold for my preference. So the last 2 years I've done something in January, February, and March called monk mode. Essentially, that's just the name the internet has given to setting aside time in your life to try to set better habits and become a better person. So this year I've set 2 major goals for myself. One is no alcohol. I've done that every year for the last 2 years for January, February, and March, but also I want to fill up my exercise rings on my Apple Watch every day. This month is 800 calories a day. Next month will be 900, and March will be 1,000. Shout out to the folks at Cuts for sponsoring today's video. You can go to the link in the description down below, save 15%. This hoodie by Cuts, the hoodie that I was running in earlier, the t-shirt I was wearing, it's what I wear every day. But what are we doing out here? Today, we're gonna try to make photos in this town called Dawsonville. This is my least favorite photography time of the year because it's just so uninspiring. It's winter, it's cloudy, it's drab, and there's no color and life to anything, but we're gonna see what happens. And while we're doing that, we're gonna talk about 3 key money tips that photographers need to know in 2023. If you don't know these and you're not doing them, you're really missing out on some potential to save money and just take advantage of the way things work with your business. So number one is my favorite, and it's to illegally download all the editing software that you'll need for your business. All right, I'm playing around. Definitely don't do that. But the first thing you really want to do with a photography business is actually register it as an LLC. Make it a legitimate business, even if it's something that you're doing on the side. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. Yes, I've done it with my business, but I've consulted experts in the tax department via an accountant, and I've worked with people who've helped me set up my business. Now, registering a photography business really isn't too complicated. In most states in America, all you have to do is file a registration with the state and pay a yearly renewal. And then what you want to do is get an EIN number. This is essentially like a social security number for your business. So instead of using your personal social security, now your business has a number associated with it. So I want to jump in here and re-record this section because I did kind of a bad job when I was out in Dawsonville. The main reason why you want to legitimize your business is to protect yourself legally. A lot of people get this confused and they think that deductions and tax savings is the reason why you want to set up an LLC. That's actually not the case at all, which we'll talk about in a second. The main reason why you want to legitimize your business is so your business life and personal life are separate. So in the rare case that a legal situation comes up, you know, someone gets injured on a photo shoot, which is terrible, your assets in your personal life, like your car, your house, your savings, are all protected because this legal issue is taking place in your business and not in your personal life. That is the main reason to legitimize your business, is to get that separation legally between you and the business that you're operating. Now, like I mentioned, the biggest misconception with setting up an LLC is thinking you need it to get deductions on your taxes, which are very big. You want to take as many deductions as possible, but you can be a normal individual without an LLC and still have a business and just claim it as a sole proprietorship and take deductions against the money you're making on the side as a photographer. If you just got confused and you don't know what a deduction is, basically a deduction is any money that you're spending in your business that takes away from your profits. So let's say you make $10,000 in a year on the side with your photography, but you spend $8,000 on a new camera, a new lens, and a website. You can claim that $8,000 of expenses against that $10,000, basically saying to the IRS and the government that you only made $2,000 in profit because you spent $8,000. Now remember, when it comes to taxes, a deduction is viewed as money the business is spending to improve the business and make more money. So if you go out and buy a Rolex, you're probably not going to be able to write that off on your taxes. But if you're a photography business and you buy a new camera to make better pictures, that is a clear deduction because hopefully this new camera will make your business more money. Same thing with a new lens, a new computer to speed up your workflow. And this is actually how so many photographers and YouTubers are able to travel the way they do. do. Now, if this sounds complicated to you, I feel you, and that's why I recommend talking to a professional, especially before you make big business purchases. You know, if you're gonna travel to South Africa and spend $25,000, make sure it's something that actually can be written off against the money you make on that trip. But one of the biggest deductions that a lot of people miss is actually driving their car. If you're just starting your business, I highly recommend you take advantage of the mileage discount that you get on your taxes, meaning this trip to Dawsonville is technically a tax write-off for me. And what I do is I use an app called QuickBooks to track every drive that I do. And then I go through that app and I just pick the drives that are associated with business. And then at the end of the year, I total up those miles. The government does some calculation to figure out the loss in value of my car based on the miles I drove for my business, and I get to write off that amount. And usually it's a couple $1,000s in savings on my taxes. Now, the second money trick that I have for y'all is treat camera gear purchases like cash flow investments. Instead of buying gear that you think you want or you think is cool, buy gear that is going to make you money. This is what makes most entrepreneurs rich, is they buy assets that have some form of cash flow. For me, I love this Leica SL2 camera, and the reason I invested so much money into this camera is because I knew how much I could make from this particular piece of camera gear. I do have camera gear that is just simply in my kit because it's cool, but it's not a good investment because it's not gonna make me money. So if you're just starting out and you're thinking, what should I buy for my business? Think about what is going to make you the most money. What camera has all the features that you are gonna get paid for? What lens is the lens you're gonna use on almost every single shoot? And start there. So one more quick interruption. I actually bought this camera used and saved $1,200 on it via B&H's used camera marketplace. So something I recommend to people out there looking to invest in gear and save a little bit of money is check out used marketplaces like KEH and B&H Used. Don't use eBay or Craigslist or anything like that. There's a lot of headaches with that. KEH and B&H are great because people check the gear before they sell it, and if you have any issues, you can easily return it. And one good thing about these used departments is typically the camera gear that they're selling is not used by professionals. It's not heavily beat up or anything like that. It's usually by people who bought their cameras as a hobby or lenses as a hobby, didn't use it as much as they thought they would, sold it back to them to make some money, and now you can take advantage of it in your business and save a little bit of money on those investments. This has been the most mid photography day I've had in a long time. I wanted to photograph these cars right here, but they're just like covered in local ads and doesn't make for a good image. So I'm gonna head home. While I'm driving home, I briefly wanna talk more about our sponsor today, Cuts. So I already mentioned the hoodie I was running in earlier today, made by Cuts, but Cuts is a variety of products for everyone. Their overtime tee has a boxy, relaxed fit. Their elongated t-shirt is a favorite of mine, more of an athletic fit, tight in the shoulders, narrow in the waist. Throw this on under a hoodie. Their Hyperloop hoodie is perfect for the winter. These are in stock all year long. You can layer a hoodie with one of their bomber jackets. The Legacy Bomber in black is a favorite of mine, and my latest pickup from Cuts is their Sherpa half zip. I've been wearing this every single week in a variety of situations, and that's what I love so much about Cuts, the versatility of their products. Their AO joggers can be worn to a business meeting or a night out with friends, and they recently introduced a women's line. So if you're watching this video, it sounds like you want to elevate your business in 2023. Why not elevate your wardrobe? Head down to the link in the description on today's video and save yourself 15% on your first Cuts order. You will not regret it. Thank you to Cuts for sponsoring today's video. So this section of the video gives me flashbacks to a time in my life that I don't want to ever go back to. It was a time when I didn't have enough money to pay the IRS for my taxes. So the third tip that I have for y'all today is to set up separate bank accounts. You see, a long time ago, I would get paid, let's say $100 from a photography client, and it would go directly into my personal checking account. And I told myself that I was gonna save enough money for my taxes, but let's be honest, I didn't have the discipline for it, and most people don't have the discipline to do that properly. So when it came time to pay my taxes, I didn't have enough money set aside, and it was very painful. So one way to get around this is to set up separate bank accounts for your business and work off a percentage type mindset. So if you do everything I said to do at the beginning of the video, you legitimize your business, you can easily go to a bank with your EIN number and get a business checking and a business savings account. So when you get paid that $100, you can split up the money according to where it needs to be. A good example of this would be to set aside 35% of the money into your business savings immediately. This allows you to set aside money for taxes, and you know that business savings account is only your tax money. And then maybe you keep 15% or $15 of that $100 in your business checking account, and you call this business operational money. You know, when you have to buy parking or you maybe have to buy a new lens eventually, money can come out of that account. And then 50% can go into your personal checking account, which is money that you can actually spend. By adopting this mindset of percentages of your money, it's just going to make your life a lot easier, and it's going to make your business a lot more organized. So this video wasn't a complete L in the photo department. Last night I was driving home and the sky lit up for this crazy sunset, and I was able to make these photos right here. Love the way they came out. Wish it wasn't so random and I could have recorded it behind the scenes for y'all, but you know how photography goes. So I'm at my storage unit right now grabbing something for the next video that's coming out on the channel. I want to go ahead and end this one with a quick note for any moderncreativemoney.com students that are a part of this channel. So if you don't know what moderncreativemoney.com is, it's an educational platform that I launched in September, and I've been keeping the promotion of it pretty low key. I essentially did a soft launch on purpose so I could build a user base of students, get feedback from them, and then make adjustments and make the course better. Now, the reason I'm talking about this right now is because I've done just that. We have over 100 students on the platform. They've all given me feedback on that course, and I'm taking it offline on January 20th. So on Friday, the course will no longer be available for sign up. And up until January 20th, the course has been half off. So if you've been considering signing up for Modern Creative Money, now is the time to do it and save half on the initial course, and you'll get access to all the new information that we add. And current students, you will also have access to the course as it is now and the new information when we add it in April. And right now I'm working with another teacher out in Colorado. They have a lot of small business photography experience, and we're going to be adding about 8 workbook pages and over an hour of new course material to make this the best creative business foundation course on the internet. That is my vision with moderncreativemoney.com. I want it to be the best educational platform for artists out there, taught by artists who have actually done the things that they are teaching about. My biggest pet peeve right now in the photography and creative educational space is the fact that people are on Instagram promoting courses and different educational things that cost $1,000, $1,500. When you go and look at their profile, they haven't done any of the stuff they're talking about. I want to completely end this and destroy this piece of the photography industry because I absolutely hate it. So if you want to support moderncreativemoney.com and you want to have access to the 3 hours of course material that I have on there now and all the workbook pages to help you build the foundation of your creative business, you can go to the link in the description. You can sign up and then get access to everything that we are adding, hopefully at the beginning or mid-April. And also around mid-April, we're going to add new courses to the platform as well and start building it into the platform that I envision it being over the course of the next, 5 years. And this really has been phase number 1, and this phase is ending on January 20th. So if you want to take advantage of the half off pricing on the course, now is the time to do it. Go to the link in the description and you can check it out. I'll see y'all in the next video where you find out what I'm getting out of the storage unit.